Hi everyone, welcome back to XGate Dental. I'm Emmanuel Kadosh, and we are here to discuss new procedures in the field of dentistry. We'll provide interesting new cases to exhibit how doctors use our products to solve complicated dental cases, so don't forget to subscribe and follow us to stay up to date. Today we will continue the topic for the patients, and today we'll discuss different procedures and what they are and what they mean in the field of dentistry. Today's topic is cavities. Let's say we have three types of cavities. We have the smallest cavity, which is super basic. You just need to clean it a bit, and that's all. Then you have a little bigger cavity that you need to clean it up and you need to do a filling, which basically means you need to close the cavity that you just cleaned. And then you have the largest cavity, which is referring to the kind of cavity that has already got into the nerve and the blood vessels that are inside the tooth pulp. When it comes to any type of cavity, you will start to feel a type of sensitivity, especially when you eat sweet things. But when it comes to the third type of cavity, you won't be able to sleep at night. It'll be super painful. So with this type, getting your tooth filled won't be enough. So you need to have a root canal treatment. Now, root canal treatment is when we clean the cavity, we clean the inflamed and infected part of the inside of the tooth in the pulp. Here you have all of the nerves, you have the blood vessels, which is why it hurts. The biggest problem most people have is when you start to feel a sensitivity. Most people tend to ignore it, but then comes the 4 or 5 days of serious pain, which won't allow you to sleep at night, and then that will go away as well. You'll feel like the worst part is behind you and that your tooth is healed, but that's most definitely not the case. Without even knowing it, all the nerves and the blood vessels just died. The caries keep getting bigger and bigger, so you still need to go to the dentist and treat the source of the problem. In the process of the root canal treatment, first of all, you need to clean all the caries, all the black holes that you see. Then you take a small needle and you clean the inside part of the tooth. You need to remove all of the inflammation and infection, which is where all the nerves and the blood vessels are. So this part can be painful if you don't have any anesthesia, super painful. And later on, you need to restore the tooth. After you clean the roots, you will need to fill the inside part of the tooth. This is for the patient like the easiest part. Later on, when you clean it up, you have less than like half of the tooth, and you need to restore the tooth somehow. If you make a tooth filling and you close the big hole, you can break the tooth. It's a big problematic because you have different types of material that's glued one on top of the other. So in these cases, what you do is make a crown. A crown is the whole tooth. You prepare the tooth, you remove material from all parts of the tooth, and then you put a crown that will hold the tooth together. So here you can see teeth after a root canal treatment. You can see the inside part of the tooth is hollow, and you can see that we prepared all exterior parts of the tooth. It will hold the tooth together so that the tooth won't break into two or have any complications. Ideally, this is how the tooth will look. You'll have a cylindrical part of the tooth, and on top of that, you'll put the crown. You cement the crown on top of the tooth, and the crown holds the tooth together and has an aesthetical purpose and functional purpose. You no longer have nerves inside the tooth, but you still have to fill the tooth. The outside of the tooth is healthy. When you chew, you can feel the tooth, unlike an implant, for example. Because the blood vessels are also gone, blood is not coming to the inside part of the tooth. The tooth won't grow, the tooth won't continue to do some of the basic functions, but you still have a tooth. It's still functional and you still feel it. Everything is good. It's minimally invasive treatment. We always want to keep as much as possible from the original tooth. We only extract it when we don't have any other option. Now, if you have a rotten tooth and you have a huge cavity and we look at the tooth and we see that we can't restore it, we can almost always do a root canal treatment. But in the end, we need to put the crown on this tooth. We aren't doing a root canal treatment for fun. We need to restore some kind of function for the patient. So in these cases, when we have a huge loss of tooth material and we can restore the tooth in any way, we go to the most hardcore procedure, the extraction. In this case, we would say, okay, we can't restore the tooth, we're just making problems for the patient and for the body. So we extract the tooth, and later on we'll restore this with different kinds of procedures for a missing tooth. To summarize all of this, in some cases the pain is just caused by inflammation. You may just need to brush your teeth a little bit better. The next stage is you have a cavity, which means you need to have a tooth filling. When the cavity is too big, you need to have a root canal treatment because a filling is not enough. Then if the cavity is too big to restore the tooth with a crown, you need to extract the tooth. Thank you everyone that joined in to learn some new and interesting information. Make sure to stay tuned for more, and of course don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you, and see you next time.